Alright, I'm back. See if we can squeeze another couple hours in, but that's all kind of dependent on queue times, honestly. Away with the ferry. Ferry. Yalfort has arrived at Mordsuk bearing pertinent information. What do you got, Yalfort? What's going on? What's the business? Ah, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the highly classified and very, very secret thing. Right. The fact of the matter is, I've come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Only took her 6 months. Yalford! And Leon, too! Is my timing impeccable as always? We heard the news from Thancred. Is it true? Why, yes, it most certainly is. Apparently, her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yulmore, although she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. She's lost her memory? Parts of it, at the very least. We also cannot be sure whether she's telling the truth, or if it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. And Thancred's with her now, is she? Mm-hmm. Yes. He's taken her to Yulmore, mainly to verify that what she's told us so far. Quiz the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I'd anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. Well, I say we go meet them. Have ourselves a little sit-down. Good grief! Are you always this slow? At this rate, it'll be dark again before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it does make each day seem awfully short. And are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got a purpose, would you? What the hell? Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? Thancred, you're back! You lot are a sight for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Oriander. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yulmore. So this is her. I'm glad we could finally meet. Properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbors barely knew the first thing about her. Hells, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yulmore is patchy at best. Was she a free citizen, a servant? What's going on? But she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. For her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. She's slave driving you already. Jesus. If you insist on standing around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Jesus. He's like, alright. And perhaps you should have chosen more sensible footwear. Seriously, those are some high-ass heels. Like, she's basically on her tiptoes. Still, it's not such a bad idea. Shall we? Ladies, gentlemen. After you. Pit stop. And amnesia. Troubling, though not... 'Tis troubling, though not entirely unexpected. Always a good fucking plot mechanism to keep things mysterious and not reveal too much to the player, right? Or the audience, I should say. I've got so many things I want to ask, but I probably shouldn't bombard her with questions. Right. Well, I've given you my early impression of Gaia, but I would be interested in hearing your opinion. Go on and talk to her and see what you make of her situation. Alright, I'm taking this seat then. Y'all ain't gonna sit down? Green? Gaia? Oh shit! Leon actually sits down in that chair for the scene. I wasn't quite sure if he did or not. So, you don't remember anything at all? Not attacking us? Not falling unconscious? Such selective amnesia would rightly raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. Yeah. Yet if she doth speak the truth, it would lead credence to my current hypothesis, though admittedly some further... Not now, Urianger. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. Damn! Urianger probably looked at Thancred like... You bastard! In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After much deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty, as a sign of goodwill. After all, trust works both ways. That's true, yeah. Very true, what the hell am I saying? Though I would ask you, Leon, not to let your guard down just yet. Yeah, no problem. I've taken her before, I can take her again if I have to. So you're the one I'm supposed to have fought? Come to think of it, I recognize you from somewhere. Really? Maybe I just have one of those faces. I'll take the passive approach. Or perhaps you just didn't make much of an impression. Oh, shit! But to be honest, I do feel that since meeting you, those hazy memories are becoming slightly clearer. Damn. The unnecessary chirps. I was trying to be nice, too. I was like, yeah, I'll choose the passive answer, and she still got aggressive with me. Bitch. It's like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realize those things actually happened. Ah, it's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Thou speakest as though thou didst expect these events. I guess you could say that. That's what the fairy tells me. A fairy? A fairy. I can't see it, but it's as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. Oh, I see. A loose reference to how Laguna would call the main characters fairies. Voices in his head. He would call them fairies. Laguna, Kyros, and Ward would say that. Whenever the consciousness of Squall and his friends were sent into the past by Alone, you know, to experience Laguna's memories, or rather, Laguna's past, sorry. The past in general. That's a nice loose reference, I like that. It whispers to me and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. And this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayest call forth the ether star of denizens of what remaineth of the 13th? Yeah. What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words at me? I think I was just trying to see if the shoe would fit, but that seemed pretty authentic for surprise right there. Honestly, I don't know how you all put up with this. I've only just met him, and his insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. Oof, now she's chirping on, well, Urianger again. Jesus Christ, or, no, not again, but for the first time. Gods, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation. And to think that I was flying about in a suit of armor, waving a sword. That doesn't sound like me at all. Someone else inside you. Reen can relate to that. Minfilia. Like Minfilia was inside me. Yeah. Aye, the similarities cannot be ignored. Though it is too early to say with certainty, Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. Your antithesis. The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? Oh, that explains why it was called Antithesis Manifest when we started that fight. It means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with Emet. Those who have been used as a living host by an Ascian have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession. This I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself even when she heard the voice within. Much like you and Minfilia. And though Reen was very much her own person, Minfilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of our dear departed friend. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. But I was born like this, and my parents, they both had black hair too. Well, that's a hell of an assumption you made, Oriander. Probably should have asked her that first. Oh well, too late now. Or at least I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them, I can't remember too well. Never mind, maybe he's still on to something. Great, we're getting nowhere. But enough about me. You're Minfilia, aren't you? The Oracle of Light who they were hosting in Yulmore? That's right, though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yulmore and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. I see. And how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it all started when... Oh, they're getting comfortable really fast, aren't they? Reen's having fun telling the story. Tancred saved me from the prison and broke me out while fighting off a giant winged lion. Yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad and Lord Vothry fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. So she was there for that. From what Gaia's told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us. But how was she able to resist Vothry's control? Very good question, I was gonna ask that too. Mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. As curious as that may be, we still don't know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as Eden took flight. True. This is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy reacted to it in some way, and for whatever reason made me go after it. Yes, that seems like the only explanation. Whoa. Well, I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. What? But why? The fairy wanted something from Eden, and knowing what that is will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Okay, I'm good. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat. So I'm going, and that's that. She's certainly a take-charge kind of girl, isn't she? She's already taken over our operation now. Gaia, wait! Insufferable. Utterly insufferable, and yet we can't well leave her to her own devices. Come on! Yeah. She's, quite the character. She can't have gone far, especially not in those heels. At least, you know, they're self-aware of her character design, right? I acknowledge her impractical or impragmatic footwear. Get away from me! Who's she talking to?
Surprise, motherfucker!
It's a giant spider! Gaia! Oh my god, okay, I made myself laugh too much with that. It seems like no choice. Shit. Picturing the spider talking like that to her. Holy shit. She knows how to use her powers. Well, that did nothing. Oh, never mind. He's out. So what, she planted a bomb inside of it? It had the delay timer that we had when we fought her? And then it went off right before it attacked her. I heard the TikTok sounds, I was like... Pah. What am I? I like her outfit though, I will say. It's very slick. And of course I'm a fan of wearing all black. Obviously, look at Leon. Look at that shit. But I did mention I did like Green's outfit too. It suits her. I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed, but I'm glad she's unharmed. Right. Powers befitting the Oracle of Darkness. When you fought Gaia, she opened void gates, yes? Back in the Source, portals such as those were all too common, but tearing open the veil between the 1st and the 13th is a different matter entirely. We should be thankful that she's not of a mind to turn that power against us. For now. A most fascinating application of ethereal manipulation. The destructive blast did manifest a significant span of time after the initial casting. With sufficient mastery of such a technique, a second spell could be made to smite the target at precisely the same moment. Yeah. I know, firsthand. While it would demand exceptional ethereal control, its tactical potential cannot be denied. I mean, it tripped up a few of my party members who were new to the duty, so yeah, it worked. What are you all gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I see magic like that. So, this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it has whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. But there are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armor appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all, it's a dark energy that comes from inside. This power. It feels as though it's only flowing through me and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for the spells to work. So, in summary, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. Unfortunately, it's part and parcel of traveling through Amarane, and while I understand that you want answers, you're not going to find them unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. Rean, think about what you're saying. You're seriously considering taking Gaia to see Eden? Excuse me? There's no telling what might happen if she loses control again. So the safest option is for her to stay away until her work is done. Somewhere we can keep an eye on her. You must realize it's for her own good. I must concur with Thancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origin and still less of her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. In full knowledge of the risks, dost thou still wish to pursue this course? Pause, champ. I do. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good too. But if we shut Gaia away for our own convenience, we're no better than Vothri and Ranjit. Their commonalities are adding up. I've learned that when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. Now, it's my turn. To do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Wow, she's really stepping up. She just met her too, total stranger. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Valamreen? Shit. Well, can't say fairer than that. How about you, Urianger? The light of thy spirit doth burn bright. She's grown up, hasn't she? Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt it necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice to say thou hast left no room for doubt. She's gotten quite the fiery motivation, hasn't she? For what it's worth, Reen, I never doubted you. But make no mistake, the danger that Urianger and I spoke of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be right there beside you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. They grow up so fast, don't they? I couldn't care less who I travel with, but if we're gonna go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the southern watchtower, yes? Come along then, and don't fall behind. That fast step. That determined I don't have time to waste. Speed walking, basically. So I can hurry this shit up. Watch me level up through this. Nah, it's too little. It's garbage. Dude, if I went around filling all this out for all the maps, now that I can fly everywhere, I would level up right now. But we ain't got time for that shit. I'll do it off stream. Of course I'm worried about what may happen when Gaia gets close to Eden. We'll keep a close eye on her, make sure she's alright. That's the plan. Though our circumstance hath changed, our mission most assuredly hath not. Restoring life to the empty remaineth our primary objective. Indeed. Gaia? Why couldn't you leave this craft in Ward's Souk instead of all the way out here? Actually, don't bother explaining. Whatever the reason is, I'm sure it's something frightfully uninteresting. Let's be about it, shall we? The sass! Jesus. Someone's impatient. It's an understatement at this point. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze with the five of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Urianger can sit on top of our luggage? Sure! He is the skinniest of us all. But Reen is the smallest too, so... I don't know. He's the skinniest, but he's the tallest too, so... Oh. No cutscene of us driving across the empty, huh? Alright. Why did they call the burn and not the empty in the source? Two different names for the same place. You know, the burn looked just like this. Kinda forgot. Forgot the lore reason behind that name. I had hoped that during our absence, the rebalancing of ambient ether might work further change. Alas, 'twas not to be. Nope, we got our work cut out for us. Everything seems fine here as far as I can tell. As for Gaia, she hasn't started attacking anything yet, so I'll take that as a good sign. As usual, we should keep our sojourn here as brief as possible. Let's tend to business quickly. Right. Alright. So there it is. Yep. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. You seem really sure about that. The bringer of the flood, the first sin eater. Would it lead to my past or my future? Her thoughts. And they use a different transparent text box, just like a certain somebody from FF8 when you were seeing his thoughts. What awaited on the path ahead, I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. Narrating in past tense. Blood and thunder. You alright, guy? I know what it's like. It was the same for me. But I was lucky, because Thancred freed me from Yulmore and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people, and they taught me not to live in another shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day you'll have that chance too. I'm waiting for her to snap. Said your piece, have you? Well, there you go. Wasn't as violent as I thought, but... One day? What's that supposed to mean? I don't know how the Great Oracle of Light sees such things. But for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow. There was no future, only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time. It won't wait. Not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia? That's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me my name, I couldn't remember. That's when the fairy whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, surely someone there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew had either disappeared or had been turned into sin-eaters. Those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognized me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most sociable person, but still. Well, even if it's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I'll call you. And if you're willing, instead of the Oracle of Light, please call me Reem. It's not the name I was born with, that's long forgotten now, but the one the people whom I consider family gave to me. Is that so? Mildly curious? Gaia, I mean. She's like, is that so? Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far, nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that I appeared out of the blue. Perhaps if you were to actually try flying it somewhere, the fairy might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore, or whatever it was, why don't you hurry up and get it over with? At once, your ladyship. Might as well be sarcastic. Why not? Fuck her. Aye, it may be best to resign ourselves to her mannerisms. A good thing we're not wholly unfamiliar with attending nobility, given certain company in the Scions. Of whomsoever dost thou speak, I wonder? He's like, shut up and roll with it, fool. Alright, everyone. I think we've talked for long enough. If you're ready, let's make our way to Eden. For footsteps. Well, we're back. My memories. I think they're slowly coming back to me. Excuse me. My mother and father would constantly blather on about how the flood of light could return to end the world when we least expect it, and that we should live each day as though it were our last. They would often say, I wish this moment would last forever. That was until they were selected for ascension by Lord Bothry and were never to be seen again. Since I had no other relatives or even any close friends to speak of, I was left alone in the world. So your parents got turned into Sin Eaters and then turned into mule for people to eat. Yikes. A past like that hardly seems worth remembering, does it? Reen's little chat with Gaia reminded me that for all our obvious differences, there are things we have in common. I too grew up not knowing who my parents were. The day Louis Soir gave me the surname Waters was one I'll never forget. Years later, it was under rather more desperate circumstances that I gave a certain young girl the name Menphilia. Oh, you named her, huh? Little did I know, then, that it would end up crossing time and space, taking on a meaning I could never have foreseen. Came to be passed on to one girl after another, binding them to a fate not their own. In a sense, it may be said that I chose not only one, but two names for Reen. But by whatever name she is called, she is truly her own person now. And as central to our lives as names are, I believe that it isn't the name itself, but the bonds it symbolizes that matter most. Yeah, I like that. You're right, Tancred. Reen? I've done some reading about the lands swallowed up by the flood, but it's no easy task to find locations with the dominant element. I'm glad we have Urianger to point us in the right direction. Urianger? Yeah, he spent all his time studying, so he knows this place, theoretically, in and out. Following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the Empty has displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability, some may call this, and be satisfied. But in truth, it is passivity. A passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, a third element that shall rouse and stabilize those unleashed energies in activity. Therefore, I propose lighting. So the primal would be Ramu, yes? From what I've heard, he's a guardian of the forest and not particularly keen on conflict. But you've actually fought him, haven't you? Well, I did, yeah. He's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. Spend that most of the time chasing after orbs. I'll go with this one. The beard. Ah, yes. Tancred mentioned that he more closely resembles a person than a beast, unlike most other primals. And apparently he tends not to move about it much. No, he doesn't. I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say. If we want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I should picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try. But the rest is up to you, Leon. As always, don't worry, I'll get it done. In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than sitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't you get this blasted thing moving first? Again, she doesn't like to waste any time, does she? One must admit, the suggestion is not without merit. Reen, might I suggest the Gandalf Thunder Plains as our next location? These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds. The only source of illumination the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether that lingers there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. Then that's where we're heading. Come on, Eden, we've got a job to do. Tell her, Reen. Tell Eden where to go, and it'll get us there. This should be as good a spot as any. Alright, Leon. Whenever you're ready. Summoning. Warm. Memories of Ramuh flash through your mind. Eden's verse. Fulmination. I don't think I've ever been anywhere like this before, and I'm not sure I'd want to come back. Too dreary for my liking. Would be nice if our next destination is a little cheerier, but I suppose I can't exactly choose if I want answers. True. The area is saturated with lightning-aspected ether. This I am able to confirm. In addition to the primal, be thou wary of stray bolts that may occur as a result of our activity. Okay. Accurate. Even if Reen has done a good job of memorizing my description of Ramuh, it will likely make little difference to how he manifests. After all, it's your memories that shape the summoning, not hers. Right. All the lightning that's fallen here over the years has left the ground covered in craters. But don't worry, Eden will give you something more even to stand on. As always. Thanks, Reen. Counting on you, buddy. Alright, let's do this. Although Gaia, the girl who had previously launched an attack on Eden, has finally awoken, her amnesia prevents you from learning much of her origins. For the time being, the best course of action appears to be continuing with efforts to restore balance to the ambient ether of the empty. The next element is lightning, which once ravaged the Gandalf Thunderplains in the time before the Flood of Light. Your memories of Ramuh give corporeal form to the crackling ethereal energies drawn forth. Let's do it! I'm gonna switch those two. Customizing my soundboard while we wait. It's too early, I think. I'm fucking gonna leave it. I'll eventually develop muscle memory for it. Phew! Alright. Gotta get up all I can. Alright. Time to get this show on the road, folks. Unless someone drops out. Oh, fuck, it's a healer, too. If it was the healer, we're fucked. We're probably gonna have to wait a little longer. Okay, we're good, we're good. Demons vs. Fulmination.
There's no turning back. Get ready!
Oh shit! We got voice acting now. They got a higher budget for the raids. Inheritor of Levin. Ramu.
So, this is Ramu.
Did not know there would be another line of dialogue. So that's what Gaia sounds like, huh? Yeah, not terribly off the mark, I guess. Go get him, buddy. Spears of lightning, to me! What the hell's he doing? Make sure to keep one stack of resistance on you at all times. That's how that works. So just one, okay. Yikes. This is already going to hell. Just one of these. In the storm of my judgment, thou shalt not escape. That's what those are for. The rolling of thunder foretells thy doom, Morgan. Bring it on. Oh my might, I smite thee! Swift as thou art, I am swifter still. Bring it on, old man! O noble beasts of the Levin, may none withstand your charge. Even though I saw it too late. I was like, oh, it's that way, but I started running way too late. Should have looked around sooner. That's a pretty tight time limit, though. Holy shit. Don't know how I could have made it without sprint, I'll tell you that much. I don't think I could have. Oh, God, this is not looking good. Neath rolling cloud, unrelenting lightning doth strike. Oh, God. I was like, over there. They're coming for us. One damn toe? Oh, he fell off, I'm guessing. Oh no. Damn, that is a wide range. That was a little late. Struck by lightning, Ramu is invigorated. Arbiters, with me! That's what he calls them? I guess so. Judgment Bolt. I was like, why did Luna Gion from Genova put on a little cry face they call off, I guess. That was quick typing though, because they put that before I saw their life bar even, you know, empty. Feels bad for them. I know what it's like to fall off when you're just trying to stay alive. That thing's fog. I'm going over here. That was a stupid move on my part. Made my tunnel vision. Get him! Redeem yourself, Alex! Hahaha! That was good. Woo! That was fun. I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. Yeah, that's what he said. Those were the actual removed last words, yeah. Well, you know, the one from the source. Look at the scenery, by the way. FF10 reference. It's basically the Thunder Plains from FF10. Like, identical. Enhanced Aurora. Or Aura. I like them. Oh, hell no. I want this. I'll take that. Damn. Yeah, said AA. That's cute. Alright, sweet. Alright. So that thing was created based on your memories? Maybe there's a way we can use Eden to summon the fairy like that. Interesting theory. Once again, 'twas a most superlative display of the puissance. Now I could not fail but notice. Excuse me. That body did belong to Ixion, fabled a keen embodiment of lightning. Hast thou perchance encountered the beast? Maybe. Yes, it does appear in Stormblood in the lock. I think I mentioned it when we first got there at the end of Stormblood. I may or may not have that mount, yeah. So it was a mix of... I guess Leon was thinking of Ixion and Ramu because they're both lightning elemental, entities, I guess. I had my eye on Gaia the entire time you were fighting Ramu, and besides the sort of reaction you might expect from someone watching you take on a half-man, half-flying horse thunder god, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. The fact that Eden itself also showed no signs of being affected by her presence can only be a good thing. But I'd understand if Gaia herself were more than a little disappointed that she's no closer to the answers she seeks. Yeah. I thought I was prepared to expect anything, but I didn't expect Ramu to turn out quite like that. Appearance aside, he was quite aggressive as well. The sylph's belief in him as a kindly guardian clearly makes a difference to his temperament. Anyway, I'm just glad it's over. Let's get back to the camp and see if anything's changed. This is actually very true, yeah. The sylph's version of Ramu was a little bit more... tempered, to say the least. Oh fuck, I think I did... damn it. I have to stop scratching that. A little patch of dry skin that kept itching for too long, and then I kept scratching it, and now it's, I'm gonna have to clean this. Purple. I like it. The crystal's a different color, but apart from that, it all looks the same. It's because there's no lightning storms right now. It may look the same eye, but it feels different. The air has grown slightly more humid, as it does before rain. I have to say, I'm not exactly prepared for wet weather. If Eden can control elements and so on, can't you tell it to send those clouds somewhere else? Speaking of which, I'm not very impressed with its so-called powers. If changing yellow crystals to purple is the extent of its abilities, it's no surprise the fairy didn't bother showing up. I hope that whatever's next is more worthwhile. Jesus Christ. What a bitch. Like, she's gotta be so negative and pessimistic about everything. God. What was that quote I was thinking of? I lost it. It was back in FF13 when I had it more fresh in my mind. Oh yeah, she's a right bitch. Rather than influencing the ground beneath our feet, Eden hath brought change to the firmament above. And yet, 'tis clear that a more dynamic element is required for the natural cycle of precipitation and evaporation to be complete. So we need movement. Would wind do the trick? Most certainly. It seems we have a plan. Let's not dwell too much on the effects of each individual element, and instead focus on seeing them all restored. Fair enough. The power of an oracle. Not to be sniffed at, it seems. All my life, you were a constant companion, your voice ever seeping into my mind. Why then, of all times, did you abandon me? Death even to the crashing of thunder? Or were you simply biding your time? Alright, give me 1 second. Gotta clean this off real quick. Oh. It's clicked. That should do it. This place is a solo instance, too. So it's a nice place to get away from everything. Anyway, be our... Alright. Good thing it didn't bleed too much, it was just like a little tiny spot. Nowhere near the palm of my hand either. Thank God. I want to get blood on this controller. One plan fails to achieve the desired effect, so you move on to the next with minimal brooding and paddling. It seems we're finally learning. We were doing this long before you came along, Gaia. I'm not sure what I was expecting to see after restoring the lightning element, but I did feel a little disheartened. Still, as Tancred and Urianger say, there are changes taking place, even if they're not immediately obvious. Yeah, there you go. As much as I bemoan Urianger's long-winded explanations, we'd be lost without him to take care of all the ethereal science and whatnot. Obviously, I'm quite sparing with my praise, as I wouldn't want it to go to his head. Into the firestorm. I thought we said wind was next. Ere we set out once more, might I ask if thou art familiar with the process by which rain is made to fall? Compression. Barometric pressure. It's an logging conspiracy! Does it sound like one of those nut jobs in real life? I suppose so. Atmospheric pressure and all that. Then thou shan't have difficulty understanding the explanation to come. Man, I should have said a logging conspiracy just for the lulz. Fuck, that probably would have made for some funny banter. With the restoration of our first element, the empty was once more blessed with the most essential ingredient in the cycle of precipitation: water. Under normal circumstances, the heat existent in the atmosphere would cause water to evaporate from the land surface. Oh yeah, that too, of course. The temperature and pressure are directly related. They're proportional to each other, so I wasn't off the mark completely. You know, temperature equals pressure times volume. So yeah, the heat existent in the atmosphere would cause water to evaporate from the land surface. As invisible vapor, it is borne by the wind high unto the firmament, where it doth condense as clouds before descending once more, returning to the land in the form of rain, which will allow plant life and everything else to grow. It seems we need wind-aspected ether to create more clouds. That it hasn't rained yet must mean there aren't enough. And even before that, we need fire-aspected ether to make the water evaporate. Yeah, gotta raise the temperature. It seems to me that one's not much good without the other. Why don't you just draw both elements together? See, she wants to get this done quick. Let's get results expediently. You're suggesting that Leon fight two deiform entities, each one as deadly as Ramu, at the same time? Do you realize how absurd that is? And yet, 'tis a notion that doth warrant further consideration. He's like, what? Oh, you can't be serious. Cast your minds, if you will, to the elemental wheel I did show to you in the bookman's shelves. I've been thinking about that this entire time, dude. I remember. Yeah, there it is. Wind giveth rise to lightning, whose spark doth produce fire. By restoring both wind and fire in tandem, we may maintain balance between these dynamic elemental forces. Okay. Yeah, I like how they use the triangle to relate them. The ensuing battle shall indubitably present an ordeal unlike any lone... No. How did I read my own name as lone? Wow. My eyes are fucked up. No, this is to myself. You bastard! I read my own name wrong. Look at that. Try again, shall we? Oh. Fix my eyes a little. The ensuing battle shall indubitably present an ordeal unlike any Leon hath ever faced. Lone. Where the hell did the A come from? I think I would have said Lowen instead, switching the O and the E. I believe, however, that this path doth lead to the prize we seek. Maybe I was just getting tongue-tied from talking too much, you know? Oh, So perhaps it's not so absurd after all, eh, Thancred? I wouldn't dream of questioning Orionger's grasp of the science behind it. My concern is for the burden of this. See, there it is again. My concern is for the burden this would place not only on Leon, but Reen as well. What do you both make of the plan? If Orionger thinks it'll work, I'm willing to give it a try. Hell yeah. As long as you know what you're letting yourselves in for, you're gonna need all your strength so that you get plenty of rest. At this point, I think I'm just trying to read too fast. Gaia! She's like, whatever, man. I want to get this shit over with. Let's fucking go. I have selected a location in which wind and a fire-aspected ether lie dormant. Though I shall wait until Reen hath completed her preparations ere I dispense with the particulars. I'd rather Reen keep her mind on her work here than worry about Gaia. Mind you, it might be better for them to clear the air before we go any further. Yeah, seriously, Gaia, you have a huge hitbox. I can't stand all this waiting around. Having grown up in Yulmore, I'm used to only living for the moment. We never had any reason to concern ourselves with later, tomorrow, the future, and so on. Those things simply didn't matter. But after Lord Bothry disappeared and the night returned, everyone in Yulmore started thinking differently. I was only there for a short time with Thancred, and I couldn't believe how much it had changed. It was almost as though under Lord Bothry's rule, time had stopped moving altogether. And when it ended, life went back to how it was supposed to have been. They realized they had their whole lives ahead of them to make plans and look forward to a new day. It feels like I'm the only one who can't move on, as if I'm still stuck in the past. What's worse, I can barely remember any of it. Even so, I can't stand the way they act as if the past never happened, choosing to forget it all. Yeah, I can see that being pretty annoying too. I get that. Of course time was standing still though. What did we say about light? It is stasis. It is time standing still. Hence all this shit we're trying to fix. We're trying to get it all moving again. So that's essentially what Bothry's rule was. Time standing still, everlasting light, all that stuff. It seems Reen is reluctant to air her concerns. Were you to rally her spirits, she may become more willing to talk. An excuse to get you to use emotes, I guess. Hey Reen, cheer up, buddy. Come on, we got this. We got work to do. Let's go. You tried to cheer Reen up, but did it work? Yes, you're right. There's no use in trying to pilot Eden while I've got other things on my mind. Excuse me? It's about Gaia, you see. What's up? The truth is that apart from Alize and Alfino, I hardly know anyone my own age. I thought that I should make an effort to be nice to Gaia, but... well, you've seen how she is around me. I understand that she's got her own problems to deal with, but I thought that maybe I could help her in some way. It's not my place to intrude, and I should probably just leave her be until we finish restoring the elements. After all, that's more important, isn't it? I don't think you could wait for the perfect time to, you know... Let me talk to Gaia while you concentrate on the task at hand. Thancred? Is what I would have said once upon a time. Oh. He's stepping aside. It seems to me that you're the one best qualified to take care of this little problem. I know she can be a bit prickly, to put it mildly, but if anyone can get through to her, it's you. Although we've only known her for a short while, we're all she's got, and I think she realizes that. Just let her know she's not alone, and she'll come around eventually. Much as she can't stand being around us, she knows she's got to deal with it. Because she's got no one else right now. Alright, I'll give it a try. Do you have any advice? Nah, I'll go with Thancred on this. I like the answer choices, though. Thancred certainly has the gift of the god. He'll know what to say. He's got plenty of experience in that department. I'm afraid that since arriving in the First, I've had little time to mingle with any of the locals, and I haven't a clue what young women like Gaia would be interested in. Ah, okay, never mind. I guess Thancred is losing his Giga Chad status. Not really. Just that aspect of it. Ah, that's giving me an idea. I'll start with some small talk and go from there. You mean like everyone else does? Actually, since before she even woke up, I've been asking Lena about what's popular in the Crystarium. I thought it might be nice to show Gaia around the place one day, you see. So that's what you were doing. I suppose it makes for a nice change of pace from all that studying. And I must commend thee on thy choice of confidant. The captain's powers of observation maketh her a veritable font of wisdom concerning the behavior of the Crystarium citizenry. Yes, and now it's time to put that knowledge to good use. Don't let the fear of rejection hold you back. Persistence is the key. You hear that, folks? Another valuable lesson. This one coming from Daddy Chad Cred. Speaking from experience by any chance? Oh, she caught on! Whatever do you mean? Lessons learned from days spent in pursuit of ladies fair, one might suspect. God! You couldn't help yourself, could you? Ha! Get outed, motherfucker! It's alright then, Cred. Your secret's safe with me. May I remind you that the reason we're here is to create a better future for everyone in the First, which includes you and Gaia? While it might not be on the same scale as bringing life back to the empty, if you're able to befriend her, that will be another way of contributing to a brighter tomorrow. So go on. She's waiting for you. Alright. Wish me luck. You got this, Reen. Go get her. Reen is ready to approach the decidedly unapproachable Gaia. You had best observe the conversation from within earshot. Of course. Why wouldn't I want to hear how this plays out? It's when Reen and I face our problems together that it truly feels like we're family. Or at least what I imagine it would be like. I suppose we both grew up without our birth parents to guide us, but I think we turned out rather well given the circumstances. I wonder if this is the kind of bond that Flamin shared with Minfilia. Started to seem pretty similar. Thancred may have taken on the role of Reen's surrogate father, but I have of late become something of a mentor to her, though largely in instilling what knowledge I can of the ethereal sciences. A more attentive student thou shalt seldom find. Good to know. She looks like she's got a lot on her mind. Maybe now's not such a good time? Ain't that the truth, though? See someone you like standing off in the distance and they look lost in thought, and you're just like, want to work up the courage to go say something, go say hi to them, strike up a conversation, but then you're like, wait, what if I'm bothering them? And on all these other insecurities start to flood in your mind. And you start to think, maybe maybe it's not such a good idea, and you start thinking about walking away, fear starts to take over. Instead of bothering me when I'm obviously not in the mood to talk, why don't you get back to work? We will, Gaia, we will. Just after we hear how you respond to Reen's... well, you know. Approach? There we go. Trying to think of a good word. Leon's squatting over there pretending to Oh, we're all just pretending to be in our own little world, so they don't notice that we're listening in, huh? Come on, Reen, courage. Don't back down now. Don't give up. What do you want? Oh, nothing really. It can wait till later. No! She was so close! For all we know, there might not even be a later. Oh, thank God she responded like that. Reen, you got a second chance. If you've got something to say, hurry up and spit it out. Come on, Reen. Courage! Is everything alright? Not feeling strange from being around Eden or anything? Is that what you came here to talk about? Reen, no! You're fucking this up! Actually, I wanted to ask you. Yes, that's it. Pause, champ. Ruben turns around. Would you like to go and have coffee and biscuits with me? Oh, shit, she did it! Reen's becoming a fucking Giga Chad.
Surprise, motherfucker.
She just asked her out, just like that, flat out. I mean, it's like, yes. Leon's like, what? Coffee biscuits. They serve them at the second serving in the Crystarium. Everyone's talking about them, so I thought that maybe once we finished our work here, you and I could go there together. Let me get this straight. You came to talk to me about biscuits? Yes! They're light and crispy, and when you dip them in coffee, they go all nice and squidgy. Actually sounds delicious, and I don't even drink coffee. Uh-oh, please don't reject her. The only reason you're even interested in that in the first place is because everyone else is doing it. Can't you think for yourself? Oh, man. At least Reen tried. I do what I want when I want. After all, the world could end at any moment. That's not going to happen. Not if I've got anything to do with it. Listen, Gaia. I understand what you're going through. Believe me, I do. But you mustn't lose hope. A new day will come. Then another, and another. Life's not so bad if you give it a chance. You'll see. Shut up! You think you know me? Even I don't know who I am. Until I find the truth, I'll never be free. Then we'll find it together! I've seen enough pain, enough loss, and I don't want to see any more. And that includes you, Gaia. Damn, Reen's standing strong. She's standing her ground. Why do you care so much about other people? What have they ever done for you? I'm sure you haven't forgotten how we Yulmorans treated you, the precious Oracle of Light, like a bird in a cage. And yet, you act as if none of that ever happened. So forgiving, so selfless. You and your family brought back the night sky, and you finally had the chance to lead a normal life. But instead, you're flying around in a giant sin-eater, trying to turn a barren wasteland into some sort of paradise, and for what? I may not remember much of my past, but I'm fairly certain I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Out of morbid curiosity, I'll see it through to the end, but if you think that makes us friends, you are very much mistaken. Oh man, that was a hard rejection. Gaia! Yeah, me and Leon had the exact same reactions. Oh, God. I surmised that to keep Gaia waiting over long would only agitate her further. No shit. God damn it. Well, at least you can't blame Reen for trying. She did her best. I mean, in the end, that's all you can do. Like Thancred said, you can't be afraid of rejection, no matter how harsh it can be. You'll never know until you try. And again, I'm not just spouting nonsense, I'm speaking from personal experience. I got rejected plenty of times before I finally met the person who became my first significant other. And she was just one of many that I had approached, just like Reen did. If I hadn't taken those lessons to heart when I did, from the people that I learned it from, and taken the risks that I did, I never would have met her. I wouldn't trade that first relationship experience for the world, honestly. If I could do it all again, I would. It was a great experience. It was a wonderful experience. Why downplay it? And it all started with the courage to walk up and say hi. And Reen did that, so I'm proud of her. Not you as well. Look, I've had enough small talk to last me a lifetime, so don't even bother. I believe you have a job to do, yes? Then be quick about it. Reen's looking a bit down in the doldrums. What the fuck is a doldrum? But you let me worry about that. We can't allow anything to interfere with whatever goes on in your mind when summoning those primals. Yeah, maybe this is not the best thing for us to do right before doing that. Who knows what the hell's gonna be in the back of my mind now. Reen? I think we've both rested for long enough. Let's get started, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Hope it all goes according to plan. Clear your mind, Reen. I know what just happened can be a little much, but... Excuse me. Stay strong. To defeat the deiform manifestations of both wind and fire shall require every last mote of thy strength. That thou hast triumphed over such beings in previous encounters should be at the forefront of thy mind as we commence the summoning. Right. Where are we going this time, Orianchik? The place called Ashfall doth satisfy our requirements, I believe. The fables speak of travelers sweltering beneath the blazing heat of the midday sun, while after nightfall slicing winds to tear at their cloaks. That's perfect. Fire and wind in equal measure. Different times of day, though, but yeah. I see. Hopefully it won't be quite that bad when I draw out the elements. Reen, my dear, may I remind thee that to focus is not the same as to deny other thoughts. Whatsoever it is that troubleth thee, thou wouldst be better for acknowledging it. That's how true meditation is done, that's true. Most people think you're supposed to try and shut out other thoughts. No. You acknowledge them and let them pass, like the ocean waves. Don't try to ignore or resist them. Just acknowledge them, and then return to what you're supposed to be focusing on. That's a thought. That's a feeling. Now back to this. Like that, to put it simply. Easier said than done, yeah, but still, that's the basic idea. Yes, you're right, of course. It's Gaia that I'm worried about. No shit. That is well. May thy concern for her lend thee yet more strength. Fuck, it's getting late. The queue times are gonna start getting long now. We're getting pretty close to, the same time as that one time we tried to do the final trial of Shadowbringers and nothing happened? Yeah. It's time. I'll begin drawing out wind and fire in equal measure. Leon, we'll only get one chance at this, so let's make it count. Wind and fire primals? I can think of them. Memories of Garuda and Ifrit rage through your mind. Summoning 2 at a time, huh? I wonder what sort of hellish beast you've conjured up this time. I unfortunately have to find out in a minute. My studies indicate that no equivalent of Garuda's servants, the Ixal, are present here on the first. My hypothesis as to the reason why can perhaps wait till another time. Actually, I'm way ahead of you. I think Ixali are actually, bioweapon experiments by the Alogans. They're not natural. That's why they're not here. The Alogans came into being well after the Sundry. If we summon 2 primals at once, maybe they'll fight each other? That way you'll only need to beat the one left standing. But I suppose it defeats the purpose of it if you don't take them both down at the same time. Yep. Otherwise, why summon them at the same time? How long has it been since our encounter with Ifrit and his Amalja followers? Oh yeah, you were kind of there for that a little bit, huh, Tancred? It has been a while, you're right. Eden's verse Furor. According to Urianger, the elements of fire and wind must be restored simultaneously to successfully complete the cycle of rainfall and evaporation. Unfortunately for you, this equates to facing the combined might of a pair of raging primals. Images of the ferocious Ifrit and the maniacal Garuda are made flesh, and you steel yourself for battle. This will be the third version of Garuda I fight. FF15. Remember that crossover event? Yeah. But before I hit commence, I gotta go to the restroom real quick. So, be back in a sec, and when I do, we'll get on with it. Yep, needless to say, I'm back, so let the waiting commence. Alright, in we go. Let's do this. Might have to stop after this one just because it's gonna get so late, the queue times are gonna get way too long. I don't know, it depends on how long the next set of cutscenes is between this one and the next one.
It worked! Both wind and fire have answered the call! Green, are you alright?
Air towards of Fury, Garuda in a tweet. Garuda's still as boob as ever, but in a different way. Polka high? I don't know what that means, but okay. Such lowly creatures, I shall not suffer them to live, and I shall not suffer thee to fail, Garuda. So they're gonna be a team. Alright. This fight is probably the one I'm least familiar with when it comes to mechanics. Probably gonna die several times, as I always do. Thought that was a knockback, I'm not really sure now if it was. I shall not suffer thee to fail. That means he's what? He's just gonna stand back and watch her do all the work and chastise her if she fails? Okay, noted. Let's see what those are. Both healers are dead. We're fucked. Wait, even the red mage. Yeah, we're completely fucked. It's over. No one can revive. Didn't realize until literally that moment that, you know. Pitiful display, stand aside. Yeah, we're pretty much dead. Didn't realize till literally that moment that the other tank had died. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, we should just... Well, I'm gonna die anyway, so... Alright, I should have this over here for when I have to communicate. Alright, time to try again, I guess. When you get the gray orb thing, stand on with one other person. Noted. Sage is telling the other one to use cardio. Fuck! Once again, from reading the chat box, I didn't dodge that. Alright, well this is gonna take some serious effort, so... You know, from... most of us being unfamiliar with the mechanics and everything, I don't think that was a marker they meant to stack on. But basically what I'm trying to say real quick is I'm not going to read out the rest of the text because gotta focus. Don't stack it. Oh, don't stack these together then. Oh, you stacked them with other people? Should have clarified that. You made them think... You made me think, too, that it was, stack them together, but he meant stack them with people who don't have the same marker. What's the partner's list? What the hell do we do with those things? Okay, there's a theory. Fair enough. Insolent worms! They dare defy me! Oh yeah, I saw this pitiful display stand aside. They're tagging out, it's like wrestling. Wait, what's supposed to happen there? I don't know what that was. There's too much going on. This fight never goes well for me. The only reason I'm still alive is because I'm a tank. There's a lot of us who are new here, too. I say us because even though I've been here before, like I said, I'm very unfamiliar with these. Oh, shit! The debate! No wonder everybody kept standing over here. I thought they were just trying to maximize uptime and get out at the last second. I was wrong. Those tethers are shared? Which one's the red one? No more games, we face them together. I'm guessing I need to take one of them now. I'm guessing this is what they mean. I don't know if we're supposed to split them up or not. I really don't. That usually tends to be a thing. That was too early. God damn it. By raging wind and engulfing flame, we are born anew. They're performing a fusion dance! Holy shit! Alright, then this doesn't matter anymore. I am Rock Hoxa? He who soareth on wings of crimson. Holy shit! There's too much going on. I have no idea what the hell happened, but I got a bone stack, so... Fucked up something. This is insane, dude. I find this harder than the next one, honestly. Like, way fucking harder. That's how you resolve tethers? I didn't even see what happened, dude. I was like, I'll be honest, I didn't learn anything because I didn't see shit. Oh, fuck, we're screwed. We're not gonna get LB3 in time, are you kidding me? Way too far off. Did my best to mitigate that. Sack of shit! Dead. It's over. Okay, fuck it. Damn! If we could have gotten LB3. Oh! Someone apparently rezzed the healer, but they didn't click fast enough, so I thought we were just done and I left. I didn't see the little notice that they had been rezzed or whatever. They just hadn't clicked to accept it yet. I bailed because last time they were like, oh, just bail because we're going to lose anyway. But once I saw the healer die, I was just like, alright, they were probably going to tell me to fuck off, so I'll go ahead and fuck off now. Yeah, apparently it was too soon. That's why I don't make it a habit of just bailing that quickly. Damn. That poor healer's having a rough time. But at this point, it's safe to say we all are, so. Perfect. We're learning! So you can... What the hell I was on to. So he's gonna kick this one, so just stand here. I like the name. Hotfoot. Oh, you clever bastard. That was fucking close. Can't do anything yet. Impossible. From where does this strength spring? Okay, here we go. Part 2 again. Woo! Oh, that's weird. Dragon Ball Z fusion dance name, huh? Saw that again. Too late, and didn't know what the hell it meant until it was too late. So now I see, it's those little horns that stick out of the ground that tell you which direction it's going to go. That would finish off anyone. I'm not sure how the hell we were supposed to dodge that one. Howling winds feed the flame. How is Ferrostorm even telegraphed? That's what I want to know. Oh, the blade thing? No, not that. Well, actually, I saw how it was telegraphed. I just couldn't figure out how to dodge it without getting caught in the other area. Whatever the other attack was. Two big thorns on the side, yeah. Oh shit, we're about to do it! We're about to win! Too busy looking at chat, I don't even know what the hell just happened. The party chat, of course. Easy peasy, we got this. He's as good as dead. Somebody LB3 his ass already. I'm not watching my own combo. I'm good. Whew! That went about as well as I expected it to, which is not at all. But hey, we got it in the end. 3 tries. Jesus Christ. Take me what they were doing. LB3 if you truly built different. It's because somebody else said DPS hit it, and nobody did. They were trying to taunt and entice people. I think everybody was too busy panicking the same way I would, low-key. Staring too long at your hotbar, forgetting what part of your combo you were at, trying to stay out of the AoEs, low-key panicking, trying to stay alive. That one's always chaotic. Always chaotic. It is not friendly to new players. I mean, like I said, even I saw him figured it out. I haven't done it enough times. Oh hey, I got a calm. Leaving a good impression 3. Yeah, I got 2. Didn't expect that, seeing as, you know. For a moment, I thought Reen had lost control of the ether. Luckily, we managed to avoid any major disasters from what I can tell. Sure, we did. That was an epic disaster. But again, we did it in the end, so that's what counts. 3 tries. That 2 such ferocious beings should meld into a single entity is frightful indeed. Further research must needs be performed to fully comprehend this unexpected phenomenon. Yeah, we've never seen primals do that, because they're always at each other's throats trying to kill each other. Combining the contrasting powers of different primals. It seems an awful lot like the Ultima weapon. That's true. In any case, I'm pleased to see that you were as successful here as you were at the Praetorium. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Probably didn't die 3 times, or 2 times. That was incredible! I never imagined they would fuse together like that. But you took them down all the same. I suppose the main thing is that we're now 2 elements closer to restoring the ether of the empty. Let's go and see what difference it's made. Hey, snazzy. Green and red. And there we go. We have the temperature, pressure, proportionality, I guess you could say. The equation is now complete for there to be rain. It actually worked! Just like Orianjor said it would. Yeah. Everything we could have hoped for. Indeed, our endeavors have been repaid manifold. I wonder what will happen when we restore ice. Suppose that is the next logical step, isn't it? According to the color wheel of elements. Is something the matter? One more element, and then what? You'll have achieved the impossible, while I'll still be nothing. No memory, no past, no family, nothing. The world has moved on and left me behind. Anyone who ever knew me is either dead or gone. So, Almighty Eden, you can mend this broken world, but you can't restore one girl's memories? Give me my life back, damn you! I still hunger. Whoa. Hey, ask and you shall receive. Ah! Extinguish the accursed light. Awaken our true power. Enough riddles! Tell me who I am! Careful what you wish for. You are... I am... Up... Gaia. Gaia! Just trying to quote FF7 real quick. Because, Cloud, you are... Up... Gaia? What's wrong? Reclaim your memories. Fulfill your destiny. People shake. I don't understand. Almost thought it was a model scroll. Forgot it wasn't. Gaia! Can you hear me? Get away from me! Holy shit. Amidst the sound of falling rain, your voice called from within. Long after the rain passed, your voice echoed on. Poor Gaia. If the fairy lives inside her, why would it let her suffer like this? I wish there was something we could do to help. Pray be on thy guard, my friend. Gaia may yet relinquish control to the voice within. Oh. get it over with, would you? Right. Tancred? A heart of darkness. While this downpour is precisely the result we were hoping for, the novelty of standing outside in the rain does wear off rather quickly. Not to mention, Guy is looking a bit under the weather. Let's continue this conversation in Eden's core. Alright, sure. Oh man. Can't say anything yet. What does it want? Why won't it tell me? I'm not sure what's going on with Gaia, but it's certainly a cause for concern. Perhaps this is the fairy making itself known. Now that I think about it, I don't really know all that much about Eden. No shit, none of us do! Since we need to find out how it's connected to Gaia, I should try to understand it at a deeper level. To be honest, there isn't much else I can do. Right. Ere we set forth to restore the element of ice, I would discuss the manner in which the summoning shall be undertaken. Just tell me one thing. Is this gonna bring the empty back to the way it was before the flood? While none can say for certain, the change we have observed at points of ethereal intersection doth give us cause for optimism. It may be reasonably assumed that the empty shall continue to transform, and, in the decades to come, regain a semblance of its former state. Decades? Not gonna happen overnight, yeah. I don't think you've quite grasped the sheer scale of the damage left in the wake of the flood. It would have swallowed the entire world if Infilia hadn't stopped it. Even if Reen has inherited her blessing, wounds like that don't heal overnight. After all, the empty has been utterly devoid of life for 100 years. And it might take even longer than that to bring life back. I don't expect immediate results, but I do know that it will stay like this forever unless we do something about it. We're working for the future, for the people of tomorrow, the generations yet to come, not for ourselves. My sentiments precisely. Only once the final element is restored shall we have a glimpse of the future that awaiteth those of generations yet to come. Thank you, Oriander. This isn't a selfish pursuit, guy. You do all this for a world you may not live long enough to see? While here I am, so absorbed in my own problems that I spare barely a thought for anyone besides myself. Makes you think, doesn't it? For so long I've listened to that voice, telling me what to do, who to be. I was so scared of what might happen if I disobey. But I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to be me. She's growing up, starting to discover herself just like Reen. Who am I? What am I? Perhaps it's better if I never find out. If Reen's the Oracle of Light, here to mend this broken world, what does that make me? Her counterbalance? Also necessary, as we found out. Too much of any one element is too much. It's a bad thing, I guess. Gaia, the Oracle of Darkness, bringer of misery and death. A monster. It's no wonder they left me. Mother, father. And next it'll be all of you. Then I'll be back where I started, where I've always been. Alone. Happening again? Gaia! Is it the fairy? What's wrong? Afraid I might lose control and ruin all your carefully laid plans? No! It's you I'm worried about! Reen, I'm going outside to clear my head. You just do what you need to do, alright? Something wrong, I know it. Oh shit. That much is clear. Thank you, Tancred. If we have a repeat of her first visit to Eden, we may even be joined by those boy-sent friends of hers. If you go and see what Guy is doing, Orianja and I will stay with Reen. Roger that. Where we first met. On the battlefield. But nevertheless. My name is Gaia. That's what you said, isn't it? Eden. The flood. What does it all mean? No. It can't be. Is this what it's been waiting for all this time? Finally, you remember. Ah! What is this? Oh shit. It's actually happening? Wait. She's not changing. Something's coming out of her. The darkness that dwells within you, Gaia. Birds! The accursed spawn of light are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Pathetic, mindless, and easily bent to my will. Sin Eaters? Apparently. Oh shit, if there was another thing of text, I didn't catch it. I think it blended in with the floor too much. Ah! Okay, that's why we have, you know...
It's rewind time.
With the PS5, we can do that. And PS4. Leon's like, what the fuck's going on out here? I like this next fight, actually. I've actually kind of learned the mechanics to a certain degree, where it's actually kind of fun. And even without knowing them, honestly, this fight's a lot easier than the previous one. To me, anyway. Even my first time through. Leon, Reen senses Sin Eaters. What's happened? There's a fuck ton of them out here, dude. They're being manipulated by this dark orb. Don't try to fight them. Just bring Gaia back inside. Quickly now. Got it. Alright, thank you. I'm on it. Sir? You're gonna have to... Oh, shit. Oh, shit! It's close. She is unconscious. No shit. Orianja? What entity is this that should hold a horde of Sin Eaters in its thrall? And to what end? Yeah, you'd think a being of darkness wouldn't be able to control Sin Eaters since they're light expected. She's in a bad way, but at least she doesn't seem to have lost control. Oh, not in the way she did last time, though. What's happened to her? That's a concern for later. First, we must deal with those Sin Eaters. Leon, if thou wouldst care to repel our assailants without, I would task Thancred with standing guard within. I shall tend to Gaia meanwhile. Eden's verse Iconoclasm, which is iconic.
You bastard!
I know. I do like it, though. I was kind of looking forward to it. Still am, but... I'm not sure if there's much Eden can do to help, but I'll try to keep it steady. While Orianja watches over Gaia, I'll tend to any Eaters that chance to slip inside. Whereas before 'twas Gaia who sought to destroy Eden, on this occasion she hath become the target. Damn it! She's unconscious. That's what I forgot. I forgot to get a sound clip of Mark. As you and your comrades prepare to restore the last of the 6 elements, Gaia's mind is suddenly seized in the grip of an unknown and malevolent force. Dark ether swirls around her and slowly coalesces into an ominous glyph, hovering high above Eden. From nowhere, a vast swarm of sin eaters circles around it as moths to a flame, and a voice that emanates from within the core claims to hold dominion over these creatures of light. While its true purpose remains unknown, one thing is abundantly clear. It must be vanquished before it is allowed to place your mission in jeopardy. Yeah. I guess it's not too weird when you consider that, it looked almost like a Sin Eater was the one supporting and holding, Gaia when she was in her suit of armor with the giant sword when we fought her. It almost looked like one. But I think it just had that color, but it was meant to be a voice line, right? Anyway, as much as I want to queue up for this, I know the queue time is going to be even longer than last time because it is now closer to midnight, and we know how that went. And we tried to finish Shadowbringers that one night, so tonight I'm not even going to try to tempt fate. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Y'all are watching this going,
What? What the fuck?
thinking, the hell, man, I thought you were going to finish. But, well,
Surprise, motherfucker.
I'm going to sleep. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Not that this matters to most people who will be watching it in the future. Just click to the next video, right? Yeah. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm making the call right now, because I know it's gonna take forever for the queue to pop, and when it does, the fight's gonna be a while, and then the scenes that come after, I'll end up staying up another hour, so... These raids, they're long. Like, they have a long storyline. Like, there's a lot of time between each raid, like, where there's a lot happening. Cutscenes, character development, stuff, like the story. It's definitely more dragged out than, the Omega raids and even the Alexander ones. Which is not a bad thing, it's cool. But it made me underestimate how long it was gonna take. Because I was picturing it was gonna be like the other raids, the previous ones, but no. It's gonna be a while. So we gotta take this one a little bit slower. So, hate to stop halfway through a raid here, but it is what it is. Lots of cutscenes and dialogue slowed us down. It is what it is. Can't do anything about that. So yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and log out here. And that means it's gonna take 20 seconds, so I might as well get started now. There we go. Just have it ready. And yeah, to keep my outro short as always, and because it's starting to feel too rehearsed, I'm gonna summarize a little bit more from now on, at least for a little while. I don't like to sound like a robot. Thank you all for watching. To those of you who came in person to spend a little time here with me as I did this, recorded this video, thank you very much. Crimson Arrival, Deathwing Duck, I appreciate your company. And for all of you watching in the future, appreciate you all very much as well. So, to all of you, as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Stay safe out there, and until next time, please have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. I will see you all then. Peace.